The thought of you looking at Derrick Henry before every single game and then looking at the other team and just going, yeah, we're going to run the ball.
Can't tackle a guy, that's a good thing.
Who the best toting the rock at Alabama?
So I'll always say Sean is the greatest Alabama running back all the time, and Mark is the best in the Saban era because he started. That's who it started off with. Who y'all think the best? Who you think the best?
Derrick Henry is 6'3", 247 pounds. He runs a 4.5 440-yard dash. That's the size of a linebacker with the speed of a wide receiver. In 2020, he became only the 8th player in NFL history to rush for over 2,000 yards in a single season. He's stiff-armed defenders so hard they've literally flown backwards. He's run through linebackers like they weren't even there, and he's doing it all in an era where running backs aren't supposed to matter anymore. There are very few people that look like him and can run like him.
My principal at the school made up this rule that if we got up 21 on anybody we played, I couldn't play them more the rest of the game.
The Derrick Henry rule? That's what everybody used to call it, because every time we got 21, it was like, oh, he's coming out.
Derrick Henry isn't just a great running back. He's the last of a dying breed, a throwback to an era of football that doesn't exist anymore. So how did a 247-pound freight train become the most unstoppable force in modern football? And why will we never see another player like him again? Derrick Henry grew up in Yulee, Florida, a small town just north of Jacksonville with a population of barely 10,000 people. His grandmother, Gladys Henry, raised him after his parents struggled with their own battles. She was strict, no nonsense, and demanded excellence. And Derrick listened. At Yulee High School, Henry wasn't just good, he was a phenomenon. By his senior year, he was 6'3" and already over 240 pounds. Defenders had no idea what to do with him. He was too big to tackle one-on-one, too fast to catch from behind, and too powerful to bring down at the line. His senior season was something out of a video game. He rushed for 2,465 yards and 38 touchdowns, but that wasn't even the crazy part. Over his entire high school career, Derrick Henry rushed for 12,124 yards. That's the most rushing yards in high school football history, not just in Florida, in the entire country. He's a totally different kind of back than we've ever seen. Recruiters from every major program in the country lined up. Alabama, Florida, Georgia, LSU, everyone wanted him, but there was only one choice that made sense. The best back in the nation was headed to the best program in college football. Derrick Henry was going to Alabama.
How much did Bama pay you?
I got paid nothing. They paid me in rings, baby. You feel?
When Henry arrived in Tuscaloosa in 2013, Alabama already had a loaded backfield. TJ Yeldon was the established star. Kenyon Drake was the explosive playmaker. Henry was the third-string guy, the backup who'd have to wait his turn. As a freshman, he only carried the ball 36 times all season, but even in limited action, you could see something different.
What I love about him too, man, he's a true role model, man. He's never gets in trouble. Never on the field, never off the
Kings
field
don't.
is he in trouble. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink.
The way he'd break through the line and just keep accelerating. The way defenders would bounce off him. Nick Saban knew what he had. His sophomore year, Henry got more touches, but still played second fiddle to Yeldon. He rushed for 990 yards and 11 touchdowns. Solid numbers, but nothing compared to what was coming. Then in 2015, it was finally his turn, and Derrick Henry didn't just seize the opportunity. He dominated college football in a way we hadn't seen in years. Game after game, Henry just wore defenses down. 140 yards against Ole Miss, 210 yards against Texas A&M, 271 yards against Auburn. That Auburn game, he carried the ball 46 times, 46, and he looked fresher in the fourth quarter than he did in the first. The more he carries it, the stronger he gets. By the end of the regular season, Henry had rushed for over 1,800 yards, but he was just getting started. In the SEC Championship against Florida, he ran for 189 yards and put on a clinic. Alabama was headed to the college football playoff, and in those 2 playoff games, Henry cemented his legacy. 158 yards against Michigan State, then 158 more yards against Clemson in the national championship. Alabama won it all, and Derrick Henry was the MVP. When the awards were handed out, Henry took home the Heisman Trophy. He finished the season with 2,219 rushing yards and 28 touchdowns, the most dominant rushing season in Alabama history, and everyone knew he was ready for the NFL. The 2016 NFL Draft was loaded with running back talent. Ezekiel Elliott went 4th overall to Dallas. The Titans had the chance to take Jalen Ramsey, a generational defensive talent, but with the 45th pick in the second round, Tennessee took a chance. The Titans already had DeMarco Murray, who'd rushed for over 1,200 yards the year before, so Henry's role was limited. He was the backup, the closer, the guy who'd come in and pound defenses late in games. His rookie season was quiet. 490 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns. Solid for a backup, but nothing special. And in 2017, it was more of the same. Murray was still the guy, and Henry was still waiting. But late in the 2017 season, something shifted. Murray was dealing with injuries, and Henry started getting more carries. And when he did, defenders started feeling it. In Week 14 against the Cardinals, Henry exploded for 92 yards on just 13 carries, including a 75-yard touchdown where he absolutely trucked safety Tyrann Mathieu at the goal line. The Titans made the playoffs as a wild card, and in the divisional round against the Patriots, Henry showed up. 28 carries, 156 yards. He was running through New England's defense like they weren't even there. Tennessee lost, but the message was clear. When Derrick Henry got the ball, he was a problem. In 2018, DeMarco Murray retired. The backfield was Henry's, and he was ready to show the league what 247 pounds of pure violence looked like. Early in the season, Henry was good, but not great. Then in Week 14 against the Jaguars, he did something that felt impossible. First quarter, handoff to Henry. He hits the hole, breaks through the line, and just keeps running. 10 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards. Defenders are chasing, but they can't catch him. He crosses midfield. He's still going. 60 yards, 70 yards, 80 yards. And at the 10-yard line, Jaguars safety Ronnie Harrison has an angle. He's got a shot to make the tackle. Henry stiff arms him so hard that Harrison literally does a full backflip and lands flat on his back. 99 yards, Derrick Henry, touchdown. 99 yards, the longest run in Titans franchise history, and the stiff arm that sent Harrison to the Shadow Realm became the defining image of what Derrick Henry was all about. He finished 2018 with 1,059 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns. But more importantly, he finished the season on an absolute tear. Over the final 4 games, he rushed for 585 yards and 7 touchdowns. He was getting stronger as the season went on, and in 2019, he took it to another level, 1,540 rushing yards and 16 touchdowns during the regular season. He led the entire NFL in rushing, but it was the playoffs where Henry became a legend. In the wildcard round against the Patriots in New England, Henry carried the ball 34 times for 182 yards. He ended Tom Brady's dynasty run in Foxborough, just bruising, punishing football. The next week against the Ravens, the #1 seed and MVP Lamar Jackson's team, Henry ran for 195 yards. He single-handedly bullied the best defense in football. Then in the AFC Championship against the Chiefs, even though the Titans lost, Henry still put up 69 yards on 19 carries against the eventual Super Bowl champions. Derrick Henry had arrived as the most feared running back in football, but 2020, that's when Derrick Henry did the unthinkable. The NFL had changed. Offenses were pass heavy. Running backs were being devalued. Teams were using committees. The era of the workhorse back was dead, except nobody told Derrick Henry. He carried the ball 378 times that season, 378 in a 16-game season. That's insane volume. And he didn't slow down. He got stronger. Week after week, Henry was putting up video game numbers. 212 yards against the Texans, 178 yards against the Colts, 133 yards against the Ravens, 215 yards against the Jaguars in Week 14, including a 69-yard run where he straight up hurdled a defender. And in Week 16, on Sunday Night Football against the Packers, Henry needed 98 yards to hit 2,000 for the season. He got 98 exactly, 2,000 yards on the dot. He became only the 8th player in NFL history to rush for 2,000 yards in a season. The first since Adrian Peterson in 2012, and he did it in an era where everyone said running backs didn't matter. He finished the season with 2,027 rushing yards and 17 touchdowns. He won the rushing title for the 2nd straight year. He was named first team All-Pro, and he proved that if you give a generational talent the ball enough times, he'll break football. In 2021, disaster struck. Week 8 against the Colts, Henry suffered a foot injury, a Jones fracture. Season over. The King was down. He came back in 2022, but he wasn't quite the same. Still good, still powerful, but the explosiveness was different. The Titans offense struggled, and after the 2023 season, Tennessee let him walk. In 2024, Derrick Henry signed with the Baltimore Ravens. And at 30 years old, an age where most running backs are washed, Henry is still dominating. He's still running through defenders. He's still putting up 1,000-yard seasons. But here's why there will never be another Derrick Henry. Running backs his size don't exist anymore. The NFL has moved towards smaller, shiftier backs who can catch passes. Teams don't want to invest high picks in big bruising runners. They don't want to give one back 400 carries. And even if they did, there's nobody built like Derrick Henry, 6'3", 247 pounds, running a sub 4.640. That combination doesn't exist. His size, his speed, his durability, his running style. It's from another era. He's a throwback to the days of Earl Campbell and Jerome Bettis. Backs who'd punish you for 4 quarters and leave you broken. But in 2024, nobody plays like that anymore. Derrick Henry is the last of the dinosaurs, and when he's done, that era of football dies with him. You're not going to see another Derrick Henry, ever. His career stats will be remembered. Over 10,000 rushing yards and counting, multiple rushing titles, a 2,000-yard season. But more than the numbers, it's the way he played, the violence, the power, the refusal to go down. Derrick Henry ran like every carry was personal. Like every defender was standing between him and something he needed. And for 247 pounds, he made sure they never stood for long. There will never be another Derrick Henry. And honestly, football might never see anything like him again. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the Football Explained for more breakdowns like this. We'll see you in the next one.